I might play another table. Oh no. Okay. But yeah, oh, whoops. Okay, so I said introducing small 3-bets. So let's go. The sample size is still not huge, but 94% is a lot. Ah, it's not updating though? Okay, there we go. And you can see that 3-betting is very reduced compared to most players. So I might introduce another table, but I still want to feel them out a little bit more. Yeah, I'll just call. It's another candidate for a 3-bet. Though I prefer suited ones, obviously. Suited hands just let you barrel on more textures effectively. So he's c-betting quite a lot, so I'm gonna be check raising this. They do have backdoors. Yeah, that's not the kind of backdoor I meant, but that works as well. Yeah, and I think, yeah, this 1/3 is pretty good here. I don't have a lot of hands I'm super scared of. There aren't flush draws, except this one. And, yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, not a lot of overcards or anything, so just a pretty good spot to bet smaller and keep my range. More capable of having bluffs there. Because, like, if you go all in, like, you can be bluffing, but again, like, you can't just be bluffing with quite as many hands. In game theory, you can have more bluffs, but I mean, in practice versus, because I feel like the disconnect is that players often have somewhat inelastic ranges to call. Yes, they will be changing their calls based on how large you bet, but the threshold where they do that tends to be like, let's say, I don't know, you bet 1.5x pot, or you bet 90% pot, and the difference from like those extremes. Okay, let me just decide. Yeah. Okay, I don't know for sure that was a call, but there are quite a few draws. So. Total air bluff on a connected board where I check back and most people check back with some kind of showdown value. So yeah, I'm surprised he did that. That means he's probing quite a bit, I guess. Yeah, I'm just saying basically people aren't super reactive to bet sizes normally. They'll make smaller adjustments based on the size of a bet size than they probably should. And I think you see betting this almost all the time, so. Good 3-bet shove candidate, but also good for a small 3-bet. It does suck to call to fold instead of just being able to see a flop. So okay, I will just call this one. And I think, yeah, I do seem to be really just attacking him when he's c-betting. But, okay, like, he can definitely shove here and, you know, be good, whatever, if he's bluffing too. But, the thing is, when you do that in a row a lot of the times, versus regs, they will start to be suspicious that, okay, well, he just did this. He's really aggressive, and he should expect me to be calling now. So, they might level themselves into folding. Maybe a 6 there or whatever. No, they really shouldn't. But yeah, I had overs to the 2 small cards as well as a gut shot, so more than enough for a check raise bluff versus someone c-betting 90% with a 95% range. Some of the hands that do call are like Jack 9 too, so I don't think they'll be raising all the time. I'm easy folding instead of like trying to be bluffing him here. He seems a little bit passive versus c-bets, but sample's so small that once again, it's not really relevant. Yeah, and once again, a spot where it just doesn't matter what you do because you're both getting it in. And I hate those spots because they don't distinguish between the players in any way, shape, or form. It's just completely irrelevant. Like, yeah, you want to hopefully have as many spots that actually matter in a game as possible. I mean, spots that matter to determining who's the better player or, you know, who's exploiting who, whatever. I'm not saying I'm a better player than him. I'm just saying that those spots don't define anything. Okay, so he quits, so I'm just going to open a new one. But, yeah. Too many of those spots in this game, particularly, and yeah, this whole session, it's been so many of those spots where you're just simply like a robot. You'd always be making that decision, and he'd always be making that decision too, whatever that is. So, yeah, it does zero to distinguish players, and that's actually why you need large sample sizes in poker to to determine whether you're even a successful player or not, because you'll have a lot of those spots that are simply based on luck, and there's no distinguishing factor between the players. I guess one way you could play that differently is maybe min raise. But if you min raise, again, like if he has the ace x, he's still shoving, so there's no difference. Okay, I'm gonna try this, and I do have backdoor, so I'm gonna try this for the reason that he might think I'm trying to level him, and also because he's betting 1/3, and I'm not yet sure that that's as strong. Yeah, my cat's really throwing a tantrum today. It's actually more wet than it seems because so many of the overcards want to call. And I mean, I am folding, but if I had like ace-4, I might actually call. Ace-4 of heart somewhere. Oh man, he left. He left the lobby again. I would register for the lobby, but I feel like I can easily just end up playing some really boring match, so I want to continue playing him instead. Let's see, who else is there? There's somebody at 240. Alfonso. Okay, I heard of him before. I do block some straight draws. It's not totally absurd to call, but yeah. When he does start to barrel though, so far he's been barreling quite a lot. Like, and following through. Man, like I really don't think I'm good here. It's so annoying. I feel like I'm obligated to call. God, another fold. I didn't mean to fold. Man, I'm really at the border of calling there. But it's such a stupid spot to bluff at the same time, in a way. But see, the thing there is, you do have straights that hit, and that's actually not as few combos as it seems, even though I do have a jack. And a 10 can play like that. He might not expect me to fold an 8, so another reason for him to be 3-barreling there. If he has value, I mean, because not as a bluff. Yeah, people generally don't want to be bluffing a ton when the top card pairs on the river, so that's part of the justification there. Again, in terms of game theory, you're probably having to call there. I wonder how I ran. I know it's not important, but I'm just kind of curious. Well, okay, not well, to be succinct. I'm obviously never folding here. I'm just trying to induce him a little bit. I'm really trying hard to pretend that I have a 9. Okay, he doesn't go for it because he hits a 5. Okay, but he did bluff twice, so 0 equity. So if we were having more normal hand distribution, I guess just average, he should be getting in trouble for some of those because it would definitely weaken his range too much, I think, to be betting there like 5-7 offsuit. But again, it shows his propensity to double barrel with very little equity, just trying to abuse position. And that's actually pretty smart, but it will get you in trouble pretty quickly versus anybody competent. And I think I'm competent enough to exploit that, obviously. And again, like, I feel bad that I didn't get to call the Jack 8, but oh well. Or the other hand that I also folded on time. It used to have a longer timer, but whatever. Like, I still feel like they're pretty close, despite how often he seems to have been barreling. Jack 10. Okay. I'm just curious what Nash is for that. 12.7 to call. I think here I'm just scaring the shit out of him when I'm limping at just a bit under 8 big blinds. He's probably thinking, oh, he's nutted, you know, whatever. King Jack, King 10. A lot of those hands that I've shown have been pretty good. So there's no shortage of strong hands in my range there. King 3 off, 8.8. Open shoving, 29%. Wow, it's just under Nash. Gosh. 8.7 is Nash. So I would have probably called if it was like King 5 or whatever. That's a surprise. I would call 2 shoves, obviously. Hmm. And because he seems like he's leaving anyway, I'm just gonna wrap it up after the video. I mean, when the game's over, I'm gonna wrap up the video. Talking is pretty tiring. It doesn't seem like it would be probably when you're watching, but it actually really is. Oh, at least for me, not being experienced with this right now. Dominated with another suited connector. Yeah, and that's that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like, I basically didn't win almost any games. And I lost. Okay, he's still playing. Alright then. Like, again, I just feel like essentially all of those except a couple of spots, just very, very small number, were simply variance, and there's nothing you can do. Maybe you guys disagree with me, so it'd be interesting to see in the comments, but yeah, I just felt like it was just simply running into these really strong hands. Like, even at then, Queen 10 suited versus King 7, it's like, alright, whoever hits wins, or, you know, he just went without hitting, but the point stands that I would be playing King 7 in exactly that way, and he might be limping or shoving Queen 10 suited, but either way they're going in. And raising maybe Queen 10 suited. Yeah, I don't know. It also is so high variance because some of those spots may not actually be 100% zero distinguishability between a fish and a regular. Because, yeah, a fish might still be like, let's say, I don't know, just checking back King 7 off. And then he would probably fold that flop, etc. So, well, my point is, I guess, is that the stronger the player you play, the more the spots you play exactly the same, because you're getting closer to optimal play, and that's likely just you know, probably multiple styles, but overall a much narrower vision of poker than, you know, you'd see from a fish. And because of that, fewer things work, and so your style is not quite as elaborate, and there are fewer spots to really distinguish, and thus the edge is smaller because of the exact same thing. Okay, so I've been doing this as a bluff quite enough. Why not do it if top pair too? I'm not folding here, but it is stupid if I run into a flush or king or whatever. It's just the way it is. I mean, if I do, it's simply a loss and that's it. Alright, and I'll hope that he bluffs some draw that missed like 6-8. Wow, oh my god, he's just running so good. I don't know for sure how much he'd be bluffing there, but goddamn, man, it's like every hand that is a reasonable sized pot, I end up with him having 2 pair or some other strong hand.